There's an attack on life and the values of life in Christianity. So little by little, the Judaic-Christian values in our laws, which are handed on from one generation to the next, have been removed one by one judicial decision after another, and you'll find you're living in a culture that is rotten. And if you don't know it, it's going to eat you up and spit you out, as it does to so many young people today. So what you have to do is step back and evaluate. Step back and evaluate and say, how do we restore a society in which life is respected from the moment of conception unto natural death? How do we restore a society in which thou shalt never kill any person for no reason? See, we like to think that we're not prejudiced today. We're the most prejudiced people in the face of the earth today. What do you mean? And you'd say anything like prejudicial, you're really moving the air, you're moving this, moving that. Nonsense. We just said recently on Wall Street, Operation Wall Street, you had the 99 versus the 1%. You remember that? You say, this is awful, 1% to 90. That's nonsense. What are you talking about, the 99 versus the 1%? You want to be a millionaire? Well, what's millions? It doesn't even give you happiness. Who cares? Really, it's a joke. The real injustice today, the real prejudice today, is against the born versus the unborn. The most dangerous place to be on the face of the earth today is in the womb of your mother. If you can make it out of her womb alive, the rest of the path to death is safe. Right, you see? So what happens is we are prejudiced by God. We have such a prejudice against the unborn child. There is no protection. Not only that, but do you know you have fertility clinics? What are fertility clinics? Mother can't conceive. Can't conceive. Wait a second. She goes to a fertility clinic. Huh? Do you know the child that is conceived in the petri dish in a fertility clinic? That child is not allowed to live if it doesn't pass the test. See, when you're born in the home, well, you belong to your mom and dad. They'll die for you. Okay? That's my child. They don't ask a question, is she alive? Is she healthy? I don't care. I don't care. It's my child. If you were hit with a car, they don't want to know it. They want to know, she's still alive. She's still alive. Help. We'll get there. We'll get there. See? But if you are born in a fertility clinic, it's against the law in a great part of the world, and it's a practice all over the world, that life on a petri dish is not implanted in the womb of a mother if the child fails the test. What test? They give a genetic diagnostic test to test the quality of the life of that child. And if it fails the test, it is killed. It's against the law to implant it. You go to jail. It's the practice. And so what they do now is, there's a mass, what we do is this. I call it massive eugenic cleansing of the human race. We make Hitler look like child's play. Fact. What Hitler would want to do, he couldn't do, but we can. In the fertility clinics, what we do is we grow life and we check to see the quality, the genetic quality of that life. And if it's not acceptable to us, it's not of the quality we want, it is destroyed. Now here's the thing, how can you grow life in the laboratories? You can't. Why? Because God said, I want human life to be conceived in the context of family. I want every human being to come into existence as a result of an act of love of mom and dad, and totally embraced and cherished in the context of family. So when you were born in the family, you don't have to pass a test. You are the beloved child of mom and dad. You are the beloved child of God. There's no test to be passed. What are you talking about? Everyone's precious. Precious. But if you insist on that, how can we grow life in the laboratories? Reproductive life. So we have to destroy family, traditional family. Make it just one of the relations, equal to all others, equal to all others. You have to do that. You're going to get on to growing life in the laboratories, in order that we can screen out all the mistakes of God and make it a precious. We play God. We play God. So what you have is the first commandment, thou shalt not put false gods before me, that's gone, because we do worship God, and the God is us. We are man-centered. We don't ask God's will resolve any problems we have. We don't need God. Science and technology, we can resolve everything. We don't need God. That's the old thing we have to turn to God in prayer. See, not now, not where we do it. And when you make man the center rather than God the center, and you start to lose a sense of the spirit, the spiritual, you lose a sense of, you see, one of the problems with this, you're so used to in your technology, oh, we think we're so far ahead of people of the past. No, we're not. We're retarded. Whereas ahead of what? We have to reduce everything to sound and sight and fury. This experiential knowledge you experience. How do you put God on television? He's pure spirit. Usually they try to put the spiritual on television by bizarre sounds and craziness that gives you a warped understanding of the spiritual. But the fact is that Almighty God, you live in a society, we have great means of communication, but it's shallow. I see people with their earphones on every time. Say, are they praying? Do they know they exist? Do they talk to God? Or are they being totally zeroed in and they're printing and they're talking and stop, be still, and know that you exist, and know that there is a God, and pray. That's why our society, while we think it's so advanced, I don't know. And the treatment of each other and respect for God and our own awareness, I don't know. It's not true. It's not true. And so what you do, you have to evaluate your society. You have to evaluate your culture. You have to evaluate what's happening. And you have to bring to it, because it's absolutely necessary, Christian values. You have to bring it to our society. God is the one that we adore. God is the answer to our problems. Right? And so when you start to, so you have a society where there's a disrespectful life, and you try to resolve this going through academia, through culture, to legislation, whatever. And this especially starting with life itself. And so what we did was this. We tried to go through the system. I've been involved in this for 47 years. Remember you 47 years ago? We did everything, only to be frustrated. The culture of death kept growing like a tsunami tidal wave. Right? It's buried, but rises up at the end, just swallows you. Right? Until finally we realized, wait a second, we're going to stop abortion. We're going to restore life and God. We're going to go to where it's the Achilles heel, the weak spot of those in the culture of death. You remember Achilles in mythology? Yeah, you do. That's great. Achilles was indestructible. I mean, he was tough. You couldn't kill Achilles. He's on your side, you won. Okay? Because his mother, when he was a little baby, she put him in the red sticks, and the water flowed over his body, and he was invulnerable. But he didn't know this. His little mother held him by his little heel. Okay? And the water went over his whole body except his heel. Now, Paris in mythology, he couldn't shoot an arrow straight. and he said, I'm going to shoot this arrow into the heart of Achilles. He shot the arrow, he missed. He hit him in the heel. Okay? But the heel was the one weak spot of Achilles. He bled to death. Because that's where his mother was holding him, in the river Styx. The Achilles heel of the pro-abort industry is at the abortion clinics. You can say anything you like about freedom of choice and so forth, but when you go to the spot where the babies are dying and the mothers are coming out, see, abortion has nothing to do with medicine. You got a medical center. It has nothing to do with medicine. You're two perfectly healthy people walking into a building. They don't need a doctor. What's this about? One comes out dead and the other comes out wounded. And I have to fund this and pay it and protect this? What are you talking about? This is their weakness. Where all the laws has its ultimate, you see, finality. And when you go there and you see the woman weeping, see, she's told this lie. We hear it all the time. Abortion resolves all problems. Brings back yesterday, you go on your life again. All problems resolved. Go, 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 go. And they do. They want to believe it. And after they have the abortion, I can tell you this, the first experience